Well, Dave, we've talked and learned a lot about your push-up bench and what kind of motivated you to design it. And tell us a little bit about what you believe to be its impact, long-lasting impact, from elementary students to middle school to high school to college level and beyond, even to seniors.
Well, one of the things when I first started out in athletics myself was I was the slowest, smallest kid in my class, and that makes athletics not very much fun, as you can probably well know. And in middle school wrestling, I started doing push-ups, and I started to notice a change in my strength and my physique. And so one of the things that I would like to see this product do is to get to those kids that maybe aren't that good, don't have that strength or that capability, and give them the opportunity to make themselves better. I can't tell you how many kids can go from being maybe poor athletes or not as good athletes and become the best athlete or a better athlete, get more playing time, have more enjoyment out of athletics. And because we all know, both you and I have enjoyed athletics our whole lives, whether it would be coaching or as athletes. So I would just love to bring that, especially to kids, to help them, like we had talked before, with youth wrestling, youth baseball, basketball, anything like that, just to help them to become better athletes.
And anytime you do anything in athletics, doing it correctly is important. You've heard that practice makes perfect. Well, it's not just practice. It's got to be practice doing it correctly. Perfect practice makes perfect. And if you learn the correct method and form right away, it's only going to give confidence. And success in athletics really does start with confidence.
Yeah, and it's very true about doing things correctly, because if you start out doing them correctly, then you don't have to break all those bad habits. When you start out doing things incorrectly, then you have to break all those bad habits, and it really is hard to do once it's set in. So yeah, this gives you the chance to start out right and gain the most, the fastest, which is what you want.
Great. Yeah. Well, Dave, it sounds like we've talked a lot about the push-up bench here and its benefits. Are we talking about just athletes? Are we talking about just school-age students? And what about males and females benefiting and utilizing the push-up bench?
This absolutely will work with anyone who doesn't have the strength to do a push-up, or anyone who wants to do more than a few reps for push-ups. Because if you're going to do body sculpting or bodybuilding, you have to do more than 3 or 4 reps in order to build muscle. But we're talking about women who have historically struggled with this exercise, and there aren't very many women that can do 10 good push-ups, and there you get into toned arms. You look at all the magazines today, you see women are, working out, and they have toned arms. You really can't become a bodybuilder without some chemical help. So if you do push-ups, that doesn't mean you're going to look like a female bodybuilder. It can't happen, because as we know, women have fat inside their muscle tissue, whereas men have it on the outside. And when they work out and get stronger, yes, their muscle grows, but more fat is burned, and so they end up looking like it's smaller because the fat goes away and the muscle develops. And so that's how they look more toned. And then we're also talking about seniors who probably back in their days in physical education see the push-up as a great exercise, but don't have the strength anymore to do it. Well, now they can do the push-up because they now will have the strength because of this apparatus. And also we're talking about strength training, as we all know, builds bone density. So we're talking about fighting osteoporosis here as well. A strength training regimen, which is huge for burning fat. Think about this, Jeff. You're on this push-up bench, all right, and you're working out 3 times a week, okay? If you're running 3 times a week, you're burning those calories as you're running, right?
Sure.
Now, when you're doing strength training, you work out, let's say you work out for a half hour on the push-up bench, you're not done there. You're burning fat as your body rebuilds itself for the next 48 hours.
Okay.
Think about the fat-burning possibilities by doing strength training like this. So there's a lot of applications that go with this push-up bench. Not just athletes, seniors, women, men, in your office, anywhere you can do the push-up bench.
Well, I appreciate all the information that you've shared with all of us about the push-up bench. Dave, if someone wanted to find out some additional information about how to purchase the push-up bench or how to contact you, how would they go about doing that?
You can go to www.pushupbench.com and you can search it on Google, just push-up bench, and it'll come up #1.
Dave, I sure appreciate your time today in explaining your push-up bench. Great job. Good luck to you.
Thanks for having me.